You'll be tired before 2 hours is over.
You guys are giggly.
I can't go to Frankie's.
We're alive. What is happening, everybody?
Did they really see that face? I was
Yes. They can hear you now, too. What is happening, everybody? It is Sunday Live Haul. We got some giggly McGee's over here in the house. We've got Vikki, a.k.a. Victoria, a.k.a. Giggly McGillicuddy 1, a.k.a. my fiance. And then we have a special guest, downtown, Julie Brown, Giggly McGillicuddy 2, visiting here from Ohio. I think that's where you're from.
Do you think?
So Julie's here with us for the weekend. She finally escaped Ohio for a little bit. What you left at?
She's laughing at herself
From 2 seconds ago.
We have the current view here, and then we have on the other screen the YouTube view. So it's like
it's a delay.
Past, yeah, so she can do something and then look over here and wait for it to happen. Right?
That's not pretty.
Look, you just waved at yourself.
So Julie's been here since Thursday.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness, can I just tell you guys, when you live in Las Vegas, people come and visit you all the time, right? Because you're a vacation destination where you live. It's great. It's like when you live in, like, I don't know, Milwaukee, people don't necessarily just say, hey, Milwaukee, I'm going on vacation, So we live in a place where people come on vacation. So it's like every month or every other month, as long as I've lived here, we've had somebody coming to visit. And, with COVID, screw that. Nobody's coming to visit. Nobody came and stayed. The only person that stayed at our house is Dana, who's been house sitting when we go on our little thrifting sourcing weekends. So Julie is our first house guest in a year, and it's nice.
Woohoo! Woo, woo, woo!
It's been nice to have our friend come and visit.
Indeed.
And it's been forcing us to go out and do some stuff. We source a lot less now. COVID, you try and make your trips outside, fewer and, farther between, going to stores and all that kind of stuff, trying to be responsible. And a lot of stuff is still really closed down here, and restaurants are reservation only. They're supposed to be 25% capacity. We went to one last night that was 100%. So whatever. You know what? People got to eat. People got to live.
But now this is your first time actually being on the show, right? Because
yes,
she was here with her husband and Kelly, and they were our live
couch
studio audience.
Yes, because they kept making.
Where they also were very giggly.
Yep, that's true.
Just off camera. But why don't you tell us really quick? You're a reseller. What do you sell? Why are you here other than to visit us?
Okay. Yep. I'm from Ohio. Been selling on eBay for almost 25 years. My husband also sells on eBay. That's all we do. He sells car parts.
He's in the chat.
Yes. Hi, honey. And at the beginning, I sold just part-time, just whatever I could find. Now I sell Tiki mugs, Tiki items, thrifted items, and used hats, and some of whatever I can find. And I'm here because we bought a 54 Tiki mug collection. And so, darn, I had to come and get them and ship them.
Yeah, we actually went and picked them up.
We went and picked them up from a seller here in Las Vegas, a collector, not an eBay seller. I think his wife sells on eBay. A seller here in Las Vegas, and stored them in our storage unit for a few weeks. And it gave Julie a nice excuse to come out and get them.
Well, actually what happened is we said, we've got your stinking mugs. If you want them, come and get them.
Oh, and yes, actually, Julie and Krista were our masked resellers one week too on the
that's right.
show.
Behind the blanket,
yes. So we so I did not want to be responsible for sending a very expensive 54 mug collection, shipping and packaging that across the country, because I don't care how well you package things. Right now, the post office and FedEx are being a little bit rougher than usual, and I did not want that responsibility.
And I refused to help, so That kind of clinched it.
I would have done it for my friend, but I didn't want the responsibility of them getting their smashed. Now, if they get smashed, it's her fault.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, exactly. And so apparently it takes 5 days to pick up some mugs. And so we're just hanging out, having a good time.
5-hour flight. Don't just turn back around.
No, we love having her here. She's here till Tuesday. So we've been having lots of fun, eating lots of food. I'm still full from our brunch we just had, which was delicious.
We did. We went out to brunch and then we went and visited the local. There was a little farmer's market set up in the parking lot where the place was. It was a little bit pitiful.
It was a
little pitiful farmer's
It was a
market.
nice walk.
Yeah.
But it was nice outside, so it was walking, whatever.
Absolutely. So anyway, so we have Julie here, and we're going to do our show as usual. We break it up into 3 parts. The first part, we go over our real numbers for the last week. So we'll be looking at Vicki's numbers and mine. And then the middle part, we look at some sales highlights from the last week, which do have a lot of creepy dolls. Thank God they're being sold and sent out of this house. And then the last part, we do our haul of things that we picked up in this last week. And that Julie will be showing us some of the stuff she's thrifted out here with us. We went to yard sales yesterday, and they both went to some thrift stores before that. And so they've got some stuff to show. Plus, Julie's going to show a couple of the mugs from the collection that she just scored. Correct?
Peace out.
Yeah, get out of here. No, stay there. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and share our screen so we can look at.
Thank God. That's awful to watch that.
Stop it. You stop it. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so we can look at our numbers. I jokingly have some days where I try to act like there might be a chance that I could outsell Vicki for one day, which yes, it does happen sometimes one day, but let's be realistic. Out of 52 weeks, maybe I beat Vicki 2 weeks, 3 weeks out of the year. It doesn't happen much. She definitely sells more than I do. It makes more money, but which is why, I stick around because I want, there's a certain lifestyle I've grown accustomed to, and I would like to maintain that. But yesterday I was actually having good sales and I was all excited and I stayed ahead of Vicki the entire day, guys. She'd get a sale, but I'd get a sale. She'd get a sale, but I'd get a sale. I stayed ahead of her all the way until 11:45. Guys, we're about to go to sleep and Vicki's like, oh, I got one more sale, 11:45, and she just barely beat me. But the reality is for the whole week, she just destroyed me. And she wouldn't even let me have Saturday. So she's kind of a bitch.
Sorry.
Is what I'm trying to say.
So apparently I should have declined all offers.
So she's,
just so you could have a day.
Listen, she could have just not told me about the 11:45 sale.
Oh,
That's all I'm saying.
Hell no.
She said it, and
Would
she kind of
have not told me.
She said it, and she kind of. I will say, there's been days when this whiny McGee over here is crying about her bad sales, and I'm having a good day. And you know what? I don't talk about it because I'm not a
bullshit.
Jerk. It's true. Actually, that's very true because you're real whiny when you don't have a good sales day. And I certainly do not toot my horn. So you can suck it, lady. So thanks for not giving me one GD day of my own. Pretty abused. Anyway, so let's look at our numbers and you can see for all the horrifying reality that my life is. Let's see.
Horrifying reality that my life is. Great.
Yeah. When it comes to sales, anyway. All right. No, I actually had an okay week. There were some really slow days, but I feel like eBay has been picking up the last couple of days. So actually I'm looking, and today's been okay. So I'm looking forward to this next week, maybe having some really good numbers. But I have 21 orders on eBay, 9 on Etsy. I actually had an Instagram sale, 5 on Grailed and Mercari for a total of 36 outgoing orders. eBay gross sales, $1,603.53. I really like to have that at 2,000. So hopefully I can bring that up this next week. Etsy, $695.12. Instagram, $200. Grailed and Mercari combined, $318. So my total gross sales, $2,816.65. I'm being tapped on my shoulder by Julie.
You forgot your winnings. That's not on that call.
Oh, that is true. That is true. Julie makes a very good point, guys. We did go to the casino on Friday night, and I will say that I won. I'm not much of a gambler. I usually tap out after I lose like $40, but I was winning the whole time. And I think first of all, I made Vicki give me money to gamble with because, come on, I'm not stupid. But I walked out.
Every time she does.
I walked out. No, I pay her back. because she pulls money out of the ATM, and so I think it's silly to pay fees more than once. Anyway, I ended up coming out with like $130, I think. That I made $130. So anyway, thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
For
So that was for the win.
pointing that out. So everything you see here, guys, just add 130 on it. Even though it's not my job. Anyway. Okay, so so my total sales $2,816.65, which is pretty good. When I was just doing eBay, a $2,000 week for me, I was always really happy with. Now I've kind of upped it where I'd like to hit 3,000 gross every week. Don't always get there. Shipping $216.91. You can see the breakdown of all the fees there. Total cost $509.54. Cost of goods about $400. Of course, that's always kind of a rough estimate, but I'm usually pretty good with remembering how much I spent on stuff. But neither one of us keep records of exact dollars we spent on each item. So my net total sales for the week, $1,907.11. I like to hit 2,000, so I'm real close. Pretty happy with that. Gross average sale price, $78.24. My goal is always to get at least 70, so that's a good number. Net average sale price, $52.98.
That's a good week.
So actually, yeah, I had a decent week. I definitely had a decent week. But we'll take that into context and see how it looks compared to Vikki's, and then you'll see why I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight. Go ahead.
So I did 51 orders on eBay, 3 on Etsy. Etsy was very slow for me this week. 14 on Poshmark. As I said a couple of weeks ago, I think I finally figured out the Poshmark formula. I am doing well on Poshmark, knock on wood. It is my second highest performing platform right now. It has actually surpassed Etsy. So 6 on between Mercari and Facebook Marketplace. It was 2 Mercari, 4 Facebook Marketplace for a total of 74 orders. I did $33.80 and change on eBay, $345 on Etsy, $670 on Poshmark.
You're doing awesome on Poshmark. Seriously.
Yeah, I've been doing between $2,000 and $3,000 on Poshmark for the last 3 months average. So that's good. I was hoping to get an extra $1,000 a month, and it started out that way, being very slow, not even quite getting there. So the last 4 months or so, I think I've really figured out the formula for me. And how I'm using it as a clearance site mostly, because it's such a lot of low ball offers that I'm taking my older items and I am drastically dropping prices when I send out offers on them. So that seems to be working. We'll see. That's just my thing. So 95 on Mercari, 381 on Facebook Marketplace for a total of 4808 for the week. It was a very good week. 457 shipping. I didn't have a lot of big heavy items, but I did have several international orders. So that's why the shipping is very high. 404 on eBay fees, 29 on Etsy fees, 134 Poshmark, 14 and change on Mercari. We have not fixed our Excel sheet to add the Facebook Marketplace fees, but that's a 5% flat fee. Okay. So 5% of 381. So
whatever,
$17, $18. So total cost $1,038. My cost of goods $298, which is actually fairly low. And you'll see it's because I've sold a lot of dolls this week, and we know I only spent between like around 25 cents or 50 cents per item on that whole haul. So 50 cents for an item is nothing. So my total net sales, just under $3,500 for the week. That's a really good week for me. My gross average sale price, I can consistently say, is now over $60 every week, and has been for the past 6 months. So it's at just about $65, and my net is $47 pretty much. So
whoop, 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 pretty good. So not too shabby.
So one question there. Ocean deals and add text. Sorry. Are you selling just clothing on Posh? So clothing and shoes. I don't do a lot of home goods on Posh. I maybe have 10 items in that category. I'll throw blankets on there every once in a while, but pretty much just clothing and shoes on Posh. I don't bother with their home goods category. It's hit or miss for me. So yeah.
Yep. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into our sales highlights for the week, starting with Vikki. Vicki's pretty much like, I think you've got like 8 dolls in one clothing item.
So, but the thing is, I'm not going to show any dolls in my haul today.
Yeah.
So I actually have things that are different than dolls to show you in hauls. So
dolls.
So what I wanted to do is, because I keep talking about these dolls and this big haul, I wanted to show you. So we skipped a week last week, but I wanted to show you they're selling almost as quickly as I can list them. I'm aggressively pricing everything, but I'm still getting very good prices. I think I have about $700 in doll sales this week, and it was just as much last week. So
Crazy.
So I'm just going to show you a lot of the doll highlights, because they're usually ones that I've shown already in the haul, so you can see what they're actually selling for, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so let's go ahead. What is this creepy thing?
This is one that I showed that it looks, I showed, there were 4 dolls. They look like the Tammy doll. Tammy is a doll that's made by Ideal Company. And then there were other companies that made dolls that looked like them. So they call it a clone, a Tammy clone doll, kind of like a Barbie clone doll. These are words that you can use when you're describing these type of dolls. Frequently, it's not good to be using words like that. It's called keyword spamming. But in this case, it's expected in the doll community. You want to put that it's a clone. That's how people are going to find it. So this particular doll, this company made a doll that was the Ellie Mae Clampett doll from Beverly Hillbillies. And the clothing in this doll looks a lot like it. If her hair is cut, and it may be, if her hair is cut, that's what this doll was. If it is not cut, it's not what it was. It's kind of hard to, but it's this, they use the same doll face and molds and body. It looks like her hair may have been cut in the back, but it might not have been. It's too hard to tell. Anyway, regardless, I paid about 25 cents for the doll. Sold for $45 plus shipping.
Nice. All right, first one for me. I have this Bangles t-shirt, and no, it is not Bangles, the girl band from the 80s, but it is an 80s t-shirt.
Susanna Hoffs.
This was a rock and roll club in Denver from back in the 80s. And the thing is, I bought this shirt from Yesterday's Fits, and I think Jesse had it on the $10 rack, because I mean, looking at it, it's obviously not the band, it's just some bar. But I grabbed it, in the back it says I got it hard. Oh yeah. But I grabbed it because something like this, there's going to be people out there who are super nostalgic. Anyone who like hung out in Denver in the 80s and went to see their favorite hair bands at this rock and roll club, they're going to see a shirt like this and be super nostalgic for it. So I paid like $10 for it, but I priced it up a bit. Not anything crazy high, but something that I thought would be possible to get from somebody. But then when I sent out I just listed this like this last week, but when I sent out my offers, I went ahead and sent out, I think it was a $75 offer, and somebody accepted. So someone paid $75 for this t-shirt that I paid $10 for. And again, it's not because it's something that everybody knows about. It's literally just a very specific area that somebody has nostalgia about. I think Vikki was telling me
there are a couple of rock clubs specifically from Rhode Island that if there were t-shirts floating around for them, I absolutely would buy them at $100 a t-shirt. Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
there's JR's Fastlane, there's Lupo's Heartbreak Hotel, there's so many. I mean, the station, there's so many that if there were actual t-shirts that were vintage from those clubs, I would spend that kind of money. So yeah. I totally get that. I would do it.
Because it's not like they had an excessive amount of merch at the time. It's like maybe they had like 10 t-shirts behind the bar that they sold. Who knows? So just think about like a place that maybe you went to when you were a kid, what you would be excited to see pop up on eBay or something like that that you pay money for. So anyway, so that's kind of like how I price stuff like this. Because, speaking of kind of an ongoing thing we've been talking about, being able to comp vintage. And there's some stuff you just cannot comp, but you can get a rough idea or get a feel for what someone might be willing to pay for nostalgia.
Yeah. So Kara asked, Julie, does your hubby ship for you while you're gone, or do you put your store on vacation too?
He is shipping for me because I ship for him every day. So him and or my son did my shipping.
Nice.
So for some reason, my sales are way down, even though I have a bunch of
scheduled listings.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, I'm just going to let Tommy ask you this question. You seem to be picking up the same types of things you were a year ago. What do you think increased your sales and your average sale price?
I think what I'm doing, Tommy, is I'm being a little bit more selective in some of the items I'm picking up. I'm picking up fewer of what I would have considered the bread and butter items, and I'm picking up better quality items, or being a little bit more selective with the better quality items.
But
I haven't priced anything much higher than I used to before, but the reason why my sales are going up is entirely due to List Perfectly and being cross-posted on several platforms. That's really what it is. It's adding everything in general.
There is one other thing, though. You also have added Crystal this last year. So you have a higher volume of things being listed as well.
Yes.
So I think it's a combination. I think List Perfectly is probably the bulk of it,
Mhm.
but you also are listing more items every week.
More
than you were
items
before.
consistently because I have a lister. Yes. So I had a lister, Dana, most of you guys know Dana helped me with photos or occasional listing before, but it was only a few hours a week and it wasn't as consistent. Crystal is consistently has been working for me every single week with the exception of like 2 weeks for an entire year now.
Yeah.
And that has definitely helped me bulk up my store. So yeah, that's part of it.
Yep. All right. Real quick, Colleen, $15 super chat. Colleen says, thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. And we're her favorite show, and she loves us.
Aw, thanks.
She
We
loves
love you
us.
too, Colleen.
Thank you, Colleen. We really appreciate
We
your
hope we get to
support
see
and
you
your
this
love.
year.
Yeah, for sure. It's
I
gonna
need
happen. It'll happen.
like real in-person hugs from my stranger friends.
Very, very
This is
true.
like first thing, Julie was barely out of the car before I gave her such a big bear hug.
Mhm. Yeah. But yeah, like it or not.
I'm hugging you.
I loved it.
She loved it, you guys. She loved it. All right. Let's go back and we'll go to the next creepy doll that sold. Tell us what you got. Ooh.
This one's not super creepy. Come on,
It's
it's
a little
kind of
weird.
cute. Looks
It's
a
a
little
little
bit like a little Gerber
It's
baby
got some
doll.
freakish feet there.
So this is a rubber doll by Ruth Newton is the designer. It's a company called Sun Babe. I did talk about these Sun Rubber Doll Company when I did show a few of these made by this company. This is obviously an easy one to do some research on when they have the name right on the back of the head, right? But it is one that I was familiar with. Again, it sold for the price you see there, $37.46. It was rolled into my 25% off sale. It did not have clothing on it. And again, I have thousands of doll clothing items. This actually goes to, I think, a My Child doll, this little thing romper, but it fit. And I probably could have sold the romper by itself for like $5 to $10, but it isn't worth it for me. So I've been taking clothing that actually fits the doll and kind of fits the era a little bit and putting them on and sending them out with those clothes on them.
Yeah. Well, as Sandra says, it actually squeaks when it steals your soul.
It does. It squeaks. Yep.
And
It's
so
a
that's
squeaker doll.
Super creepy. All right. Next up for me is this awesome Rambo t-shirt. Rambo First Blood Part 2. This is a sleeveless tee. And
You have two of them.
well, I think I have more than that because I think I bought like 4 or 5 of them. But I sold this one for the price you see there, $97.99. This was part of a bulk buy I did of a bunch of vintage movie t-shirts. And I have a bunch of these cool sleeveless ones. And I sold it for $97.99. I paid $20 from the bulk deal. Everything was probably about average $20 a piece. So $20 into $97.99. Listing's already ready to go for somebody to buy the next one. And it's got some history on it. So hopefully maybe I'll sell one again this week. But it's great because I've been sending out offers. And I think I've sent out offers as low as $65 for this t-shirt because I have a bunch of them. So getting $97.99, I was super stoked about. And woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. All right, woo.
Here we go. This one, I did show this in the video. This doll is fugly. And I'm going to tell you, it's fugly. It's got short, ugly hair. It has an ugly face. And these dolls are super, super collectible. This one has a crank that goes on the back, and when it works, her head swivels around her neck.
Well, that's not creepy
and
at all.
No, it's totally creepy. She's got a big smudge on her forehead. The crank on the back of the head doesn't even work. As you can see, I could not get the smudge off.
You're filthy.
It's like a felt pen or marker or something like that. Someone can work at it. It was not going to be me. There's so many dolls to list that what I've done is I've given them all like a cursory wipe down to make sure they're relatively clean, but the rubber on a lot of them needs to be scrubbed. I'm just not spending 20 minutes every doll when I have hundreds of dolls to list.
Yeah.
And I've said that very clearly in my listings. If I took a little bit more time, I could maybe get 10% more for it. And that's not worth it for me. That's the thing. You have to value your time as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for doll collectors, they're not expecting it to be exactly pristine. They're going to clean it themselves. And I will say that. I say I've given this doll a cursory wipe down. She needs a good scrub and a good bath, maybe a little hair set. And I put that in the listing, and it does not slow the sale down at all. And you'll see that from some of the other. So yeah, the head turns all the way around, like Karen says.
No.
Not quite, but it does swivel. It swivels on the neck. Anyway, so this doll was naked when I found it. And in all of the doll clothes that I had, I found her outfit actually. No, the doll clothes were picked up at entirely separate times. That was why I sorted these clothes. I knew I was going to find dolls that fit. And this was one of them. So Anyway, yeah, I sold this one very quickly. Sold for $97.50. That does look like Allison did after the eBay open last night party. You were a little bit more raccoony. The eye makeup was a little bit more smudged, I have to say. But yeah. So yeah, $97 for that fugly thing.
Nice. All right. Next up is this Metallica shirt. I don't know if Barry's still in the chat. He was the first one to comment. He did win the first comment prize.
Which is you're acknowledging?
By commenting first. Well, I mean, what's the point in doing it if you don't get the glory that comes along with it?
The glory.
So this is from, I believe this is from the last bulk purchase I got from him, where I got 36 t-shirts for $2,000, and I recouped the costs a handful of weeks back, probably about a month back. And anyway, so I sent out offers, especially now that I've like made all my money back and I'm making money on all these. Now it's like it's even easier for me to like aggressively send out offers. And so I sent out an offer for this one, I think yesterday, for $175, and somebody accepted and paid right away. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So with that lot, I paid $55 on average per piece. But like I said, I've already recouped all of my costs. So every penny that I make with these t-shirts now, moving forward, I'm making money on. I'm doing. Oh yeah, he's still there. Hi Barry, thanks for the awesome shirt. By the way, I still have your crazy Eddie t-shirt. I don't know if you forgot about that, but so you should hit me up because I want to get that to you. Anyway, so yeah, just a cool t-shirt. Let me see. This one's
very cool.
It's all worn. It's got holes.
Holy.
It measures kind of short. It's only like 24 inches in length.
It's a good shirt.
Yeah, it's a cool shirt, but I'm not sure who's wearing it. But it's either a belly shirt. Okay.
Well,
it's 24 inches in length.
Okay, so I would not wear it.
So,
but if I wanted to do a belly shirt and maybe a wet t-shirt contest, it would. I'm just saying, But no, I would not be wearing it.
Anyway, so good flip, cool t-shirt. I like it. And moving on to the next creepy doll. Whoa! Her eyes are stealing my soul.
This one's not super creepy. She's actually one of the ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Her eyes are a little much.
She's demon eyes.
Yeah. So vintage ideal doll, Little Miss Revlon, another one that sold for the price that you see there. This one it would have sold at the original price, but again, she rolled into a sale like the very next day. It would have sold for $129, but
that was inappropriate.
Well, you got to see that she doesn't have all her original clothes. And again, as you can see, if you do close-ups on these dolls, first of all, I'm not posing them. The photos could certainly be better, but they are seriously not going to, it's not going to sell the doll anymore. For me to take an extra 20 minutes to perfect the photos, it's not going to get me any higher prices. So, yeah. Sold for $97.46. Again, I'm charging shipping on these. This is a larger doll, so it's costing me about $12 to ship. So my flat shipping fee covers just a portion of it.
Yeah.
Again, all of these dolls I paid, approximately 25 cents a piece for them.
Mm-hmm. Tracy says that Frankie's brother has a Metallica shirt. I want to know if his is a belly shirt. Does he wear it as a crop top? Actually, with those t-shirts, you can usually stretch them out if you wash them cold and then dry them on a towel. But while they're still still wet, you can do some gentle stretching and sometimes salvage a couple inches. But it takes a little bit of time, and you got to be real careful so you don't wreck the shirt. But
ain't nobody want to see me in a crop top or wet t-shirt contest.
Whatever.
Guys. Listen.
Whatever.
The comments, you're out of control. It ain't happening. Now, mind you, it would have happened probably 15 years ago. I would have done it without the $2 bills, but I'm a little bit too long in the tooth for that these days.
In the words of my grandmother to my mother, when she saw grass on her shoes, when she, after a dance, left the dance when she wasn't supposed to and walked in the grass with a boy, my grandma said, "You're cheap, you're cheap."
That was a long story for that.
I know.
Okay, now I'm being abused by Julie. I even gave her the comfortable chair, and this is how I'm being repaid. What an asshole. All right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so this shirt, I actually did not sell this on eBay. I sold it on Instagram, but I don't even have it listed on Instagram. The guy found it in my store and then contacted me on Instagram to actually buy it from me. And so you can see there it's listed for $300. I got this shirt, Dick Dastardly and Muttley t-shirt.
I love this one. That's what.
Yeah, I got this a few weeks back from Jesse at Yesterday's Fits. I believe I paid like $75 for it. It was one that had just come in recently. I paid $75. I sold it for $200, but again, because I sold it on Instagram, I didn't pay any fees. So $200. And because he was buying it on Instagram, I went ahead and sent it to him priority. This is a cool 1993 awesome t-shirt. It's even got
I can hear the Muttley. I can hear him. I can hear him in my head. And he would shake. His little shoulders would shake.
You can see it's got like a couple spots in the sleeve. So it's not in perfect condition by any means, but sold it. Cute. Bought it for $75. Sold it for $200. $200. Front hit, back hit. You know what I'm talking about, boys. Anyway. Oh, Vikki I almost got her to snort level laughing. Not quite, but close. Close. Anyway, that's my Instagram sale for the month.
Another doll. This one is naked. She's missing her wig. She's cracked and crazed. Somebody snatched up wig right off her head. She's got like some little chipped fingertips.
Her fingers are a little nubbly.
Little nubbly. She's loose. She is a Julie's laughing. Clearly, she's naked. She's loose. She's loose.
Now, what is she?
She is a Shirley Temple doll.
She's cheap. She's cheap.
This is a Shirley Temple doll, but it's a composition Shirley Temple doll, which means it's from the 30s. So it's an older doll. And again, doll collectors don't care. They're going to redress the doll, re-wig the doll, fix the cracking and the crazing. Again, most people would look at this, throw it away. I knew that it had some value. So it sold for the price you see there, $37.50. Not a huge amount of money, but again, I paid a quarter.
She paid a quarter, guys. She paid 2 bits. 2 bits.
I have to say hi to Chris P. in Toledo, Ohio. Howdy.
Hi, Chris P. in Toledo, Ohio. All right. Next up is this awesome I Survived the Blizzard of 1977 in Buffalo, New York. I got this t-shirt from that big bulk buy I did from the East Coast, where everything on average I paid about $8 a piece. And this shirt was like a little teeny tiny one, size small. So let's see what these measurements are all about here. Actually, I have it right here in my little Sizely picture. 17.25 inches across the chest. This is definitely a teeny tiny shirt. But like I said, I paid $8 for it, and I sold it for, let's see, I think it was 10% off. So
now, if that said the Blizzard of 78, the Blizzard of 78, and it had something in Rhode Island in it, again, that would be a big deal. Like, that's a big thing. If you're from Rhode Island, if you haven't heard the Blizzard of 78 9 million times in your life,
the Blizzard,
you haven't heard it once. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so $69.99, but it was on sale for 10% off. So it was $62.99 for this t-shirt that I paid $8 for. And then, like I said, I got this in that 125 piece bulk buy that I got. And I'm definitely making my money on all of them now. I think I broke even like quite a while
ago.
Julie. Oh, rude. But stuff like this, I think that's 2 Blizzard shirts that I've sold in the last few months. So definitely be on the lookout for these. Definitely nostalgia. Like, I would pay, back in 92, I think we had the spring break quake in Oregon, and my mom saw something in I think she saw it on TV or the newspaper, because back then it wasn't like you went online to order stuff. She seriously called or wrote in somewhere and bought me an I Survived the Spring Break Quake of 92. And if I could buy that shirt now, I would, because it's happy memories.
Did you do a search for it yet?
This is why people do this.
Exactly what?
Did you do a search for one yet?
No.
Okay.
But if it popped up, I'd be excited about it. Jeez, Julie.
It doesn't come to
I happen to
undermining me, Julie.
I like Karen's comment there about the doll that they just showed. The poor thing, just bury her in the backyard.
Aww.
We have a lot of desert. Just bury her in the desert.
Yeah.
There's not even grass at their house.
No.
It's true.
No grass.
Poor dogs. All right. Next up for you. Ooh, she's been doing her eyebrows.
Her eyebrows are on fleek. That's probably a 10-year-old expression, right?
It's like a 18-month-year-old, 3-year-old expression. But yeah, you're behind the times.
Okay, so this is another one. This is an antique doll. This is actually This doll is painted and it's very, very thin metal. It's tin is her face and her chest. The breastplate is made of tin. So it's called, it's a German doll. She has glass eyes. She's totally creepy.
Is this when she's like possessed by the devil?
Yeah.
Look at
Yep.
those teeth.
Yep.
Ooh!
Dolls with teeth are creepy as hell.
You wake up to that in your face, not on your cheek.
It'd have a dented titty face.
Yeah. Joan Crawford wants her eyebrows back. Sandra says. That's true. It's good. So this is the doll. Yep. So she
Body
even has,
modification is a big thing with dolls, isn't it?
body modification. Anyway, this one sold pretty quickly too. As you can see,
would have wore that last night.
sold for $100. That's her head.
Oh,
That's
God,
the wig.
dear Lord. You can
That's-
keep snacks in there, some Skittles.
That's disgusting. How can you take that picture?
It's like a doll pest dispenser. All right.
All right, sold
Anyway.
for $104 for those of you listening and not watching. Again, I have about a quarter invested. $104.
Plus $10 shipping.
I think they gave you that one for 10 cents.
Chris says
They paid me to take that one.
Chris says taste the rainbow. All right. Next up is a boring old t-shirt. I can't follow up with that very well. I actually love this Hobie t-shirt because I always get the skiing stuff, but this is cool because it's actually snowboarding. And so it's just this cool long sleeve Hobie t-shirt. It's got the mock neck. This is like late 80s here. And it's just got that cool
Back it.
yeah, look at that back hit, you guys. Look at that back hit. And this is actually a mullet because it's got the little front hit right there. Right there.
Oh, is that what they call
Yeah, so it's a mullet, business in the front, party in the back. I bought this for like $10 and sold it for I sold this for $10 off or 10% off of that. So 90, actually 89.99 is how much it sold for.
So the comments are cracking me up about the doll with the tin head. Susan said, I was up all night without much on my mind. Guess I'll be up all night with nightmares. Corey says I could have lived my life without seeing that. Sandra says taste the lead poisoning.
I like it.
You guys.
Good times. Anyway, yeah, paid $10 for it, flipped it for 90. I would love to find some more snowboarding t-shirts. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
It's a cool one.
Next one for you. Oh, she's sultry.
She kind of looks
mysterious.
like a doll in drag.
Mhm.
Let's be real.
Mhm.
The makeup is super exaggerated. This is an early version of a RuPaul doll. No, anyway, this is a composition doll.
Oh, God. What's that?
You guys are assholes.
Go on.
We got this.
Leave the comment to us, sweet cheeks. Go ahead.
Are you talking to the doll or
No,
Vikki?
This is a doll typical from the 1920s era. These were called boudoir dolls or bed dolls. They'd put them on the bed. They were long and they were meant to sit up, and they were like, between 25 and 35 inches long, and their legs were really long. The bodies were cloth. The hands and the head are, and the arms are composition. The feet are composition, but the bodies are cloth. And they would usually have these big, elaborate, a lot of them have cigarettes and they're like smoking, which makes them super cool. But those
bad girl dolls.
Those have mostly like flappers,
Mhm.
So most of those are hard to find with the cigarettes not being broken or broken off. This particular one is one that was in good shape because it's a bride doll.
She's a non-smoker.
And she's a non-smoker. But her face is actually intact. She doesn't have a lot of cracking and crazing, and which is very hard to come by on these composition dolls. And the face paint is actually what you'd call it's high color, which means it's still in very good shape. It's very bright. It's not faded. It hasn't been worn off or rubbed off. So if you look at the doll too, like they're stuffed, like they stuff the front of them, so they have like stuffed bosom. It's funny. They're funny looking dolls, but they're very popular. I could have held out for a little bit more money on this one. I'm not looking to store these dolls because there's so many of them.
And they're horrifying.
So I am perfectly happy accepting, $20 less or so on a doll just to get them moving quickly. So this sold in less than a week. Every one of these dolls has sold in less than a week. after listing.
Mm-hmm.
So it sold for the price you see there, $103.96. This actually shipped to Germany. So it was an international sale. So I made a little bit of money on the international shipping as well.
Very cool. All right. Next one I have is this awesome You Can't Touch This t-shirt. Hammer time, guys. Yep. So this is interesting because the other day I get this message from this woman and she's like, oh my God, I was obsessed with this shirt in 1992. I love it so much. And she sent me her school picture of her she was probably like an 8th grade or something, or a freshman. It was her school picture wearing this exact same shirt, same color, everything. And she was like, I love this. It's so awesome. And then like 2 hours later, a different buyer bought it from me. So I don't know if it's anybody, it's not, they didn't have the same last name or anything. I don't know if it was completely random or if maybe a friend bought it for her.
I hope she mentioned it and someone bought it for her.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Who knows? But anyway, but I just thought it was
because it sold like within 12 hours of her sending you that.
No,
message.
It was literally like 2 hours. It was really.
I bet she shared it somewhere on her social media and someone bought it for her.
I would show you guys the picture, but obviously she didn't send it to me so that I could put it on YouTube. So, but it's pretty funny. All right, I'll show you what it sold for. And I believe it was on sale. So yeah, so it sold for $89.99. This one I paid I bought this from a website, a vintage shop that has an online store, their own store, like a Shopify store. And so I think I paid like $20 for it. So I paid 20 and sold it for 90. But just a fun little story, and I love getting that picture. Julie, I'll have to show you that later because it's pretty funny.
Yes. So Cool Casual Vibe says, when I grew up in Germany, they had doll doctor stores where you'd get your doll repaired after you accidentally ripped the head off. So it's funny. There are several doll doctors across the country that do exactly that. They do repair vintage and antique dolls. So a lot of women that collect dolls, not that there are not men that collect dolls too. I'm sure there are. I know there are. But people that collect dolls will they'll buy them on eBay or Etsy at garage sales, wherever they buy them. And then they ship them to the doll doctor to repair and restore the composition and the painting. As a matter of fact, I sold one I'm going to show in a little bit that my buyer actually wanted me to ship it directly to the doll doctor to have it repaired.
You didn't send me any Facebook ones.
Because it's too hard to get the screenshot for Facebook. So I'm going to show you the listing on eBay.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But yeah.
Jeez. Fair enough. All right, let's see what you got next.
This is another one.
Cute.
That one, I think the face is cute. The pouty face. Come on now. Look at that face.
Yeah. Looks like
this one. I was not able to find anything on this doll anywhere. I believe it's some version of the Thumbelina doll that I had showed earlier. This one's head does not move. But it's not listed in any of my doll books, but I know a doll collector must know which one it is. Even by Googling that number and doing some deep research, I was not able to find any information on it. That is not the original outfit. Again, it's something I pulled out of the doll clothes, but it fit perfectly and it's from the correct era. So it works with it. But this doll sold within 5 minutes of listing, which leads me to believe that it is somewhat rare since I wasn't able to find it anywhere and I was not able to completely identify it. The buyer who purchased it was not especially friendly because I actually asked. I was like, it's not like I'm not going to ship it.
They were probably scared that you were going to cancel.
Yeah, I wasn't going to cancel the sale. I actually had asked, and I asked it in the listing as well. If you happen to know who this doll is, please let me know so I can correct the listing. But it sold so quickly. If anybody here knows, I'm happy to accept the information because if I come across it again, I would like to know. And I have several doll books and doll research sites that I use. I was not able to identify this doll specifically.
Thanks a lot, jerk.
So but it sold very quickly.
So since you are listing a bunch of dolls, therefore you have a bunch of people repeatedly coming to your page to look at dolls, why wouldn't you put that in auction since you didn't know?
Good question. I don't put anything in auction because I didn't.
Been a good idea, but
it may have been, but this also could have been a very common doll that wasn't even worth that $69. So it could have sat there.
Maybe they liked its outfit
only for 7 days.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true. I could
Come
have
out of your box.
I know. Thanks, Mom.
Auction.
Thanks, Mom. I probably could have put in auction.
Anything else?
No, if you didn't have a bunch of dolls, I'd say no. But since you have a following, probably.
Yeah. All right. So this is Wimbledon lawn tennis sweatshirt. It's interesting because it's kind of like the material feels almost like a sweater too, but it's definitely like fleece. It's kind of an interesting texture. So I had put in it that it was a sweater. I put jumper in there because that's what they call them in the UK, and this is made in England and Wimbledon sweatshirt. But I only had it up for less than a week. I got it a week before last. From
Yeah, you just showed this one.
Yeah, I paid like $25 for it. I priced it up a bit, and let's see what I got for it. It actually felt like it was almost brand new, but it didn't even go on sale yet because I start my sales at the beginning of the month, and I don't put this new stuff I list. I do not, unlike eBay, I do not roll it into the listing because I like with Etsy, I pretty much always have a 10% off sale. But if I list something in the first week of the month, after I already put my sale on, it will go the whole month at full price. And then, anyone who's following it, the beginning of the next month, it goes into a 10% off sale. So I kind of hope to get a little action that way. But so it did sell for the price you see there, $99.99. And again, I paid like $25 for it, and it sold really, really fast. But it's just a really cool. I like the sweatshirt, nice big.
I like the colors.
Graphic, looks cool. All right, next one.
So this one actually sold on Facebook Marketplace, but it was too hard for me to grab the screenshot. Once it's sold, it's hard to get the screenshot on that. So I wanted to, just show that this particular doll sold very quickly as well. She had like little freckles. I think she's really cute. So anyway, this is a very, a somewhat rare Madame Alexander doll. And it was made only in 1938. There's not a heck of a lot of them. She's, most conveniently marked by the braid in her hair and the because she's not marked as a Madame Alexander doll. You have to know that. By the braid in her hair and the freckles, that's kind of what gave it away. She is a doll that's composition as well. 13 inches, cute little wig. She was in good shape, minus the crazing on her face, which is not a deal breaker. She did not have clothes, but she did have shoes, and the shoes are original, but the clothes are not. The clothes are circa 1940s. They fit her. They go with the outfit. They go with what she goes for, but she sold for $100 flat. She actually sold for a little bit more. She sold for $100 on Facebook Marketplace plus shipping there as well. So this was the one the buyer wanted me to ship it to a doll hospital, but on Marketplace, after they've made the purchase, you cannot change the address. So I told her she was SOL. It's going to her.
Yeah. Tommy, jumper's not a new term. It's a UK term. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a European, but it's definitely a UK term. That's what they call sweaters. They, you put on your jumper.
Yeah, they call it's a pullover sweater is called a jumper.
Yeah, so it's not anything new.
Not a cardigan.
And I don't ever use it, but
I do. I use it sometimes.
I usually don't ever use it because I think pretty much anybody who's searching the US site for sweatshirts knows we call them sweaters and sweatshirts, not jumpers. But I just used it because it was Wimbledon and it was made in. I'm getting hit by a Vikki. I can say what I want. Leave me alone. Made in England. I just whatever. Had room in the title.
It fit.
All right. Next one is this. How do you pronounce it? Feshheimer?
I have no idea. I've never seen that word in my life.
Really?
Why would I know how to pronounce it?
Because it's like vintage, like they do vintage like security jackets and stuff.
I don't know. I always look at like the Happy Jack and stuff.
Oh, well, anyway, this one I've actually had it for a little while. This is like from the Phoenix Police Department, as you can see right there. Ooh. But I probably had this for, I don't know, a good 6 months at least. Maybe
I feel like this is a good time to point out that you cannot sell current uniforms by a police department. If you find anything that is current by police or security, eBay will pull it. You're not allowed to put it. It has to be vintage.
And I will say though, I had something somebody bought. It was a security jacket, vintage security jacket that I sold. The person did not pay. I ended up relisting it, and then it got pulled by eBay because I was trying to sell security, like whatever the reason was. And it was stupid because it was definitely vintage. So just
did you fight it? I would have fought it.
No, because I didn't really care. It was a piece of crap that wasn't worth very much money, so I didn't really care.
It was a piece of crap that I was trying to pull.
I just didn't. No, it wasn't anything. It wasn't high value. It was like $30. I didn't care. I wasn't going to waste my time. So I just didn't relist it on that site. Anyway, so this, I paid like $10 for it. This I got at some thrift store. I probably had it up for more like a year because I haven't put jackets on in quite a while. But let's see what I sold it for. It was 10% off. I sold for $134.99. So $135, paid $10, sold it for $135. It went to Australia. So a Phoenix police jacket went to Australia. So they paid shipping. And so I made even more on shipping. And so, yeah, again, I'm always much happier sending this stuff overseas than selling it domestically because I always make more money that way. Especially now that they just updated the shipping costs increases.
Yeah.
The international is even cheaper.
I know. I guess
ship.
we're going to see because I've got about 30 items to ship out tomorrow and a
Yeah.
bunch of them are international. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Who's going to pack those for you?
You, Chris, I'm going to put her to work tomorrow.
All right. And then the last one, I'm letting you go last this time.
Woohoo!
What you got?
So this sold on Etsy. I did have only 3 sales on Etsy this whole week, which was, like I said, pretty slow for me. But this is just a vintage 1960s navy peacoat. It was a good size. It's small. 34 is a small coat.
Yeah, it's real small.
But you know what? There are small people. So
What?
I know. I don't know how the heck they manage in life. Listen. But it sold. I don't know. I've probably had it listed a couple months. I think this was listed in November. And it sold
for
$229.95 plus $12.95 shipping. It does weigh about 6 pounds. It's really heavy wool and it's big. So I tend to charge $12.95 shipping. I'll probably put it in just a large flat rate shipping box, depending on where in the country it's going, for the $17 and change or whatever the heck it is. And I eat some of the shipping, but I'm totally okay with that. So
filling.
Ew.
I had a nap, so I'm feeling it.
You feeling kind of feisty. Anyway, all right, that's it for our sales highlights. I think we had some cool stuff go out this week. And again, as always, we have our links to our eBay stores, our Etsy stores anyway. I don't know about if the other stores, if you're able to see what people have sold before on like Poshmark, but at least on the eBay and Etsy, you can go and look at all of our sales.
Not just
we don't
the
hide
highlights.
any of them. You can see the stuff that we maybe sold for $20 or $30 or whatever, and see what's up. Those were our highlights.
Before we move on to our haul, let's get into answer some of the questions in there. I do see Robin has popped into the chat.
What up, Robin?
We haven't seen her in the chat in several months now. Good to see you.
Hi, Robin.
So Aaron Austin says, I've been getting a message about Flipper Tools that they've closed it. How did you get access? We've never had an issue doing.
I have no idea. It's just
it's always worked.
I only use it for Etsy sold prices, so I don't know if there's other things that I know you can't use it anymore for eBay solds, but you don't really need to because you can just use TerraPeak right on the eBay site. So, but yeah, Flipper Tools. I mean, it still works for Etsy. So
another question from David: for your international shipping, do you use current eBay guaranteed delivery? No, never. Or direct shipping. So we don't use GSP or the eBay. I don't even know what the eBay guaranteed delivery is, to be honest with you. We all, including Julie, all ship direct using Pirate Ship or eBay's shipping. We've all been selling for so long that guaranteed delivery didn't exist when we all started selling, and you had no option but to ship direct if you shipped international. And once you know how to ship yourself, there's really no reason to use any of the other.
You realize
programs.
how easy it is, and it actually is very, very low risk, not much different from shipping domestically.
Especially this past few months.
You use Pirate Ship. Their simple export rate now is even cheaper than ever before, and you just charge your buyers for the shipping, which they expect to happen. And you make more money that way. And if you're nervous about it, you pay for insurance, which still they pay for it. It's covered in their shipping costs. So there's really no reason not to do it. So I would say for anybody who's thinking about something that they want to do to bump their business up in 2021, I would say finally get over your fears of doing your own international shipping. And no, I do not exclude a single country.
Neither do I.
So
the other thing, if you want to look at is, so Aaron says, try TerraPeak. So TerraPeak is free. If you have an eBay store, it's free with your eBay seller tool, Seller Manager Pro.
It's in with a tab that says research.
Yeah, it's free. And that goes back an entire year. And it's just for eBay sales. And it's a little bit specific. So be careful with your wording. But I will say, I love WorthPoint because it goes back several years. And it's great for vintage and antique items and obscure items. That you can find more information on. But 12-year history is sufficient for almost everything that you're going to sell.
12 month.
I'm sorry, not 12-year. Geez.
I'm like, that's oddly specific about 12 years.
12-month history is sufficient for almost anything that you're going to sell as far as for using Terapeak. The good thing about Terapeak is it actually gives you a heck of a lot more information about the sold, when it was started. It gives you the real price, when it, whether it was auctioned, whether they included shipping or they charged for shipping, whether it was auction or buy it now. That type of stuff is really good. It also gives you what if it was best offer, it gives you the sell-through rate on the product. So there's a lot of variances that are available for a free product that you get if you have an eBay store.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Melissa, Vasquez Vintage, says she finds Worth Point useful for old radios. They sell a lot of vintage electronics and old radios, and absolutely Worth Point is great for that type of thing, because it may not help you as much with current pricing if you're finding something from 10 years ago, but what it does help you with is a description and information on the item itself. When it's something obscure like that, and maybe there have only been 3 that have come up in the last 10 years, it's great if you're able to find the item on Worth Point and someone's already done that research for you. Absolutely. So you can find the information. So that helps you.
And I use it for vintage clothing on like kind of a more obscure stuff. If I can't find anything about something, I mean, I'm not always trying to find the exact same thing, but occasionally there's something I think might have some real value, or I want to know more about it. And sometimes I can't find an old listing from 10 years ago on Worth Point, again, where it tells you exactly what that particular thing was from. And it gives you so much more information that then you can put it into your listing, and it's a much better listing because of it.
It gives you a lot more details. It's fantastic for specific collectibles and antiques for sure.
All right. So let's get into our haul portion. So we didn't have our show last week. I didn't do any sourcing this week, but I did go to Yesterday's Fits last week. And since we didn't do our show this last weekend, I do have stuff to show you from that haul. And then Vikki and Julie did go out and do some sourcing on what was it? Friday. On Friday, they went to thrift stores. Which stores did you go to?
We went to 2 Savers stores and a Deseret. And I think we're going to hit the other Deseret and maybe a couple more Savers tomorrow. Yep.
And Julie is attempting to single-handedly rid the entire Las Vegas area of all of their Hawaiian shirts. And because she pretty much came home with at least 1,000 of them.
At least.
Maybe. But like what? Maybe 30,
Chris,
40,
she's going to be shipping
30
home. I don't know how many boxes. Let me tell you.
Yeah, but
so don't get me in trouble.
So hey, you got to make this trip work for you. So she got a bunch of Hawaiian shirts and some other really cool stuff. And then yesterday I was like, hey, let's go. Why don't we go do some yard sales? And I drove them around.
Was it her idea?
It was my idea. It actually was my idea.
It was.
Actually,
it was Julie's. Julie said, "Can we go to yard sales when I'm there?" So,
well, I didn't hear her ask that. You were the one talking to her. So anyway, I was like, "Hey, I'll take you guys to yard sales." And it's funny because the first, I'd say hour and a half to 2 hours,
at least 2 hours.
We were nothing. We were not getting. Yeah, places like they weren't selling. We couldn't even find it, or we get there. We get there, and there's
lady yelled at us because we were early because her son.
My helpers aren't here.
So I was saying, man, I'm glad that we already have none of us are hurting for inventory right now. We're just kind of doing this for fun. So it's kind of nice because sometimes we've gone yard sailing and Vikki really needed to source and she would be pretty cranky by the end of the day. But anyway, so we were just having fun. And then all of a sudden it picked up. And by the time we came home, we had the truck.
The truck was full, of course.
So, and we had Dutch Brothers. So I vote for Dutch Brothers versus Dunkin' Donuts.
So I got another
convert
for the old Dutch Brothers. So anyway, why don't we go ahead? You guys want to start? And
Julie can go. Julie,
why don't you show us some?
She is the guest.
Well, first of all, you got a lot of Hawaiian shirts. Why don't you tell them what you do with? Why do you buy all those Hawaiian shirts?
Okay, so several years ago, we were introduced to Tiki when a Tiki bar in our 20-minute radius of our house opened, and the first time we went there, they were talking about having a Tiki flea, where you sell your Tiki items and or like MCM, mid-century modern, or go with items.
Rockabilly stuff, that kind of the whole genre.
And so I told Chris that, I said, let's just set up at it. We're going to go to it anyways. So that way we can make a little money. We were actually getting ready to come here to eBay Open, and we had pre-scheduled to go to California first, drive here, leave from here. So we really had no plans of what we were doing in California. And after the day at the Tiki Flea and meeting all the people, and it was just really chill. There were bands all day, people talking. everyone was friends that you've never met before. People came from all over. We decided to head to California and just go to tiki bars while we're there. And actually there was tiki fleas there. That's a whole nother story. But so anyways, flash forward, now we do the tiki flea every single time where we just take tiki things. And we've been to a tiki flea in Columbus, Ohio. Our tiki bar, Tiki Underground, has had 6, I think, plus last year they took one on the road to Columbus, Ohio, because one of the other ones got canceled. And we've gone to a tiki event that we've ended. So in Ohio, the Hawaiian shirts are a lot more expensive, but you can only find maybe
3,
10 to choose
right.
from. And
they're all Puritan
like,
or George.
Yeah. They were like $4, and there was 50 of them. So I did try to be a little selective. And I don't really go by brands per se, because people are there and they're going to touch them. So I kind of just go by what I like: color, bright color, theme, doll colors, bigger sizes,
Fabric.
Yeah. And I always, in my mind, I think if it was cheap enough, if something happens and I don't sell it or I find damage, I can craft, because in my mind I'm a crafter. So
but in reality,
yeah,
she's a crafter.
I have piles. I'm a hoarder. All things fabric. So anyway, so I got my tiki mugs, I got my tiki shirts. I'm ready for everybody to have their injection and or have had COVID, and let's move on with our flea market.
So when you go to the flea market, the tiki flea, you're mostly selling your mugs, so like collectible tiki mugs that you get from all over, and then you'll have like a rack or 2 of Hawaiian shirts.
We are up to, like, the last time we had 4.
So 4 racks of Hawaiian shirts. What do you price your Hawaiian shirts at?
Between 50 and 50.
15 and 50. Yeah, so you're paying like 4. You got 30, 40 shirts. You pay $4 a piece for, and then you're gonna minimum sell them for $15, but even up to 40. That's
and at the end of the season,
and they're not listed, and you haven't photographed them.
No,
so when you only work you've done is to purchase them and clean them and put them.
So when you go and when you go and you have 4 racks of shirts at an event, how many of those do you usually sell? Like half
really
of them,
hit or miss.
all of
Now,
them?
when we did Columbus, we probably sold. I would have to guess pretty much half, I think.
That's good.
And then at the last Tiki Underground flea, when we took them, I did buy one, get one free, because it was like the fall. So it was kind of like clean it out. And plus, like most of those people in Ohio, of course, are following. Now I'm trying to work on taking my show on the road to Florida, hopefully. Just because it helps you pay for the trip, and you're going to be there anyways, and
you want to go and be tikiing there anyway.
Yeah.
So if you can make a little bit of money and have it pay for your trip, like that's
exactly
the best kind of vacationing.
Yep, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay,
and Chris is being sassy in the chat. He says selective. Come on. All right, so show us some of what you got.
That's because he saw me say to the camera, she is not selective.
How many did I buy?
I don't know, 700.
Oh.
Give or take one.
Probably one of the cooler ones, and this is a fabric that I usually probably wouldn't buy. It's rayon, but this is vintage.
Where's the camera? Here, I'll take it up there for you.
Golden Nugget.
Golden Nugget. It's a really cool pattern.
Yeah, I'll let you show it. It has just a lot of cute little tiki, like postcardy looking things on it. And it has golden nugget stitched on the left side, and it has Hawaii and holiday, and
so it could have been a uniform shirt. It could have been a uniform shirt for a specific
it's really cool
event or something. It feels vintage. It kind of the tag looks vintagey. Even if it's not, it has a vintage look to it.
yes,
It's pretty cool.
So there's that one. And then one of the tiki bars that I want to go on the road to Florida is in called the Hanu, which it means turtle. And so I bought as many turtle things as I could find. And so there's this one. And this is, what's this called, Clothing Girl, where it doesn't button all the way down? It's a
It's just a
pullover.
It is called a
tiki
pullover. I don't
shirt.
know
Yeah,
if there's
pullover
like a
tiki
word
shirt.
for it. So yeah, it doesn't
And that-
button. You pull it over. So
I thought that was just
Rain Spooner
pretty
does a
cool.
lot in that way. The Rain Spooner and Liberty House from Hawaii both do a lot of that style.
I
And
like
this
that
is
one.
just what
It's good color.
Bishop Street, so it's not a vintage one, but it's a
Right.
nice big size, good pattern.
Good coloring.
So then, since I was buying all the shirts at the Deseret, Victoria comes over and said, "Ow, look at all these Hawaiian dresses I found." And she let me buy one.
She let
Now,
her buy one.
mind you, I looked in the dresses before I went to the shirts, but they were all in the
Why
pajamas.
did she let you buy that one?
Because it had a stain.
I was gonna put it back on the rack.
Yeah, so basically, Vikki let you have her cast offs.
Yes. So I don't know if this is vintage. It is made in Hawaii. It's called Good Times. The regular tag is not very vintagey looking, but the care tag kind of does. But it's just a regular.
It might just be like an
hibiscus.
80s or 90s one. It doesn't have to be like
The people don't care as long as it's a style or
it's just the
print that
hibiscus
they like.
straight skirt with the the little flounce at the hem.
So our friend Laura says that she met you, Julie, briefly at Ecom Chicago a few years ago, and then she saw you at the Tiki Bar later, but she was being a creeper.
Oh, you know what is so funny that you say that? Like, I go up and talk to people. Like, so Chris and
She
I
talks
were
to everybody
in Columbus.
She talks to all the people that sit at the tables at the restaurants next to us. Their kids.
I'm lonely. I work at home.
You let her out of the house. It's crazy.
I'm sorry you didn't come up and talk to me, but it was good to meet you. I don't know you by your M80 baby.
Laura
Franzica
oh, okay,
group,
yes,
in our group.
And we were in Columbus. Our son lives in Columbus, and there's a Tiki bar there. And while we were sitting there, Chris got a friend request. And I had noticed, it was COVID, so you can't walk around. I noticed that the one bar manager was talking to somebody a couple tables away about Tiki. And I thought, oh, maybe he's just, being friendly or whatever. And so when we looked at the friend request, the people said, oh, we were just at the bar with you, but we were afraid to come and talk to you because we didn't want you to think you were creepers. I'm like, dudes, we'd have been happy to talk all night. So yes, always come up and talk.
Yes.
We have multiple things in common. So you never know who you might meet.
That's true.
And then another Victoria little scenario.
Here's a little story.
We stop at this little yard sale and they have blankets of clothes on the ground. And the lady was like, oh, if you find anything you like, we have a bag. It's fill the bag for $5, blah, blah, blah. Vikki says, oh, look over there. There's some Hawaiian fabric. I see it. Oh, look what I found. Shag trunks. Shag is a Tiki artist, if you don't know.
But when she said, oh, look over there, it was more like, hey, Julie, there's something Julie might like to buy for you, Julie. But then as soon as she picked them up and saw they were shag, she was like, oh, I'm going to get these.
Yeah.
It was on a different area. I didn't see those at first. Yeah. She went to go look at the Hawaiian stuff. I was looking down, and these were down in front of me.
But then, luckily, she started to feel a lot of guilt because Julie and I made fun of her a whole bunch and wore her down until finally she gave it up.
So I gave her these shorts that she paid about 50 cents for. And how much are you going to sell them for, Julie?
The other pair that's listed is 80 some, and one sold a smaller size for 65 or something. Anyway, so Shag is a Tiki artist out of Palm Springs, and it says Shag all over it. And the brand is Toes to the Nose, whatever that is. It's probably something I don't want to know what it is. So there's that. So I have a whole bunch more, but I already had packed them. So I packed all my Tiki mugs and then rolled them all in clothes. But so I'll just give you a little brief. So of the 54 mugs that I already had packed, and then Vikki said, oh, you should sew some of your mugs. So I'd unpack some. And so I just couldn't see what they were. Anyway, so I brought two. One is for my collection. We collect Tiki mugs. We've been collectors forever. So probably over the years on eBay, we sell what we collect. So either A, to support our collecting habit, or B, to
support your travel to collect more habits.
Exactly. So we used to do Coca-Cola stuff and so forth and so on. So anyways, now we both do eBay for a living. So so my collection has grown, and that my part of the collection is the only stuff that's displayed right now. But anyways, so I collect Tiki Bobs, which is this, it's always a plain faced Tiki mug.
Even I know what he looks like. He's
and a little
cute.
face. And they're so cute. And they're in my bedroom. So when I wake up every morning, I have all these smiling faces.
She rolls over and she goes,
oh, everybody loves
Bob,
me.
Look at you. Look at you. And look at you.
I want to pinch those cheeks that you don't have. So this is by MP Ceramics. He does usually very limited. He does not even have the signed or numbered. So I'm thinking this might be a little bit older. He's called Atomic Bob. And he just kind of has these
He's got that little MCM
things.
little atomic look to him. He's super cute.
So, and then the other thing, I brought this one, and actually I've had this before. I've been to this bar, I've bought extras. And so, this is just another key. Like I can literally just go home and hit relist and use all my same pictures, my same listings, and have this ready to go. I might have to remove a picture because mine were always in boxes. So I just removed my last picture. I try to be very careful when I list something that is like a collectible and have like not have my box in every picture, because if I then find one without a box, I just delete that picture. Or if I sell a swizzle with it,
smash this right in the
No,
back
I'm
of the
not.
chair. She's talking
or
with
if
her
I
hands.
if I have a swizzle with it, I'll make sure that that's in its own picture. I don't make that as part of like maybe I have a just that way you make you work smarter, not harder.
That's right.
So
That's a good
anyways,
deal.
the problem is most of the 54 mugs we don't have in our collection, so we'll probably keep a lot of them. So, but someday we'll have them to sell. And
So when we leave today, we are actually going to Frankie's. We're going to Frankie's at some point today or tonight. Frankie's is my favorite bar and has been since I moved here 8 years ago. We have not been since COVID, so it has changed. I do know they're only operating at 50% capacity right now. So of course, Frankie's is always on the menu. Julie goes every time she comes here. She buys their mugs all the time and sells them. So yes, we will be going to Frankie's.
Yep.
And if it doesn't work today, then it'll probably be tomorrow. It depends on what the capacity is like when we get there, because you can't
we don't
do
know how many people will
reservations
be
there. So yeah, we're gonna go check it out.
Anything else?
Yeah, so 54 mugs she got. She got a very, very big collection. It was a good time picking them up. We met the sellers because I picked them up for her, and Katy and I went and chatted with the people that were selling them.
Yeah,
I think
he's selling them. He wanted to
Yes.
sell off a bunch of his stuff because he's going to start making his own.
which there
I think
used
is
to
pretty
be
cool.
a bar here in Vegas called Aku Aku, and so he's making a tribute mug
Ooh,
to that.
interesting.
And so he needed the upfront money to
make his own
have them
mugs.
manufactured.
Very
So-
cool.
Anyway, they were nice people. It was a good time.
All right, so now what do you got?
What have I got?
Oh, all them Hawaiian dresses
I know, right?
I
Oh,
only
this
brought
yoinks right off
a
under your
couple
nose.
up. So let's see. What do I have? So I
Oh,
have
this Hawaiian dress.
no. Shut your mouth, you. Shut it.
Hi, Julie Z.
I bought this sweatshirt because it's actually probably late 90s, early 2000s, not really 80s, but look at it. It says jazzercise. Come on now.
Snowflakes.
Jazzercise. So it's a vintage sweatshirt. I paid $3 for it. I just thought it was funny because it was jazzercise. It's not as vintage as I would like it to be, but
You
it's
can
fun.
still sell for like $40.
I think so. This was another sweatshirt that was a pretty cool find. I paid about $7 for this. This is brand new. There's no tags on it, but I'm not sure it ever had tags. You can tell like it hasn't never been like undone. It's an extra small women's, which kind of sucks because it's small. It's a very tiny one, but it's made by a designer called Mark Vachon in Hollywood. And it has all these really, really cool patches on it, like these skull patches and stuff. And if you do a little Google search, these are selling for anywhere from $125 to $200. So I paid about $7 for it. I grabbed it because I thought the graphic was cool. And then I looked it up after and went, holy crap, this is a pretty cool designer. So I'm excited about this find. That was pretty good for a sweatshirt. I wish it were bigger. Unfortunately, it is not. Let's see. What else do I have here?
Just try not to get the dresses.
I know, right?
I'm going to do the dresses last. Shut your pie hole. So vintage. What is that? Oh,
You pooped outside.
I don't know where the glasses came from. Vintage Pendleton skirt. I don't buy women's Pendleton very often, but the skirts do well because these are timeless. This is kind of timeless fashion. Wear this with a cute top and some riding boots, and it works now. So this is vintage 70s. It is new with tags. It does have the tartan, the name of the tartan plaid on the tag itself, which that's always good because it helps it sell it and it helps you not have to look for it yourself. And it had a little matching scarf.
That's pretty awesome.
So I thought that was pretty
they're
cool.
still together.
And they were still together, and it's vintage, new with tags, and it's a good size. It's a size 16, which would probably measure as like a size 12 or 14 right now. So it's a vintage size 16. It's a good size, and it's a nice color. That purple color is nice. I think I paid $4 for that. This was a dress that came from the hoarder house where I purchased all the dolls and the dresses. This is one that I had Crystal do some repairs on for me. I'm going to stand up to show this one just because it's a, sorry, Julie.
It's okay.
Just so you can see all of it. It's very delicate. It's a silk dress from 1920s. And it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful flapper dress. I'm trying to find I know it's like
Trying to figure out which way is up.
is up. It's just a beautiful silk flapper dress. There's no damage to it. It did have a little bit of damage on the ruffles, and Crystal was able to repair it for me. It's heavily hand beaded with these little seed beads.
Seed beads.
There's no holes anywhere in it, and it's just this muted floral pattern. And it's from the 1920s. It has the big drop waist. It's long with ruffles.
It's heavy because it's got those beads.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to be careful, because it's silk and it's very delicate, and I didn't want the beads to pull down on the silk and rip it. So I think I'm going to price this somewhere. It cost me about $20 in repairs. It cost me about 25 cents for the item itself, $20 in repairs. And I think I'm going to price it somewhere in the $250 range. You don't normally find dresses from the 20s and 30s in good condition.
Mm-hmm.
So, somewhere around $200 to $300. I'll see what kind of interest it has. It's really pretty, really pretty. And you really can't, it looks much better on a hanger than it does me trying to show it that way. Now,
here we go, guys.
Drum roll.
I actually picked up, I swear, like 10 Hawaiian dresses, and it was at least 10. So let's see. This is
number one.
I'm only going to show 3. So this is just regular Royal Creations from Hawaii. It's just a vintage brand. It's pretty common. Made in Hawaii. Very common blue muumuu hibiscus dress. Again, the same. It's got the straight thing. The straight bodice of the dress, but then you've got your a little 1 foot, like a 12-inch or 14-inch flounce at the hem.
Why don't you explain real quick why we find so much Hawaiian stuff?
Yes, because I did not know this.
So Vegas is often referred to as the 10th island. We have a very, very large Hawaiian population here in Vegas. A lot of people move here from Hawaii. We have just a lot of Hawaiian and Samoan people that live here in Vegas. So therefore, you're going to find an awful lot of Hawaiian shirts. Plus, it's hot, obviously.
Well, and the muumuus and stuff.
And the muumuus. You're going to find a lot of Hawaiian shirts, dresses, and muumuus. I've never found as many as I do here, ever, anywhere.
Oh, yeah. They were
maybe Hawaii, I would assume, but I don't know how. I've never thrifted in Hawaii, so I wouldn't know.
At Deseret, we left a lot of
we
shirts
left
there.
we left a lot behind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what did I pay for this? I paid, sometimes you're going to find them in the dresses aisle. Sometimes you're going to find them in the with the nightgowns.
Yeah.
I paid $5. This is a very basic one.
Ninth Island.
I will Ninth Island. Sorry. Yeah, I will probably sell this for like $40. Not that one's a pretty basic one. This one, on the other hand, is a real pretty color. Not, again, pretty basic as far as style. This is that great brand that is made in Hawaii, which is the actual brand. So vintage, and it is made in Hawaii. And this actually used to belong to somebody named Claudia, because that's her name on the tag. This one I paid $4 for. And it's just this really pretty muted lilac color, but like with a dark,
army
like
green.
an army green. It's actually quite a pretty contrast.
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of like a faded black when you look in the camera, but it's actually a green.
Yeah, it's a pretty contrast, these two colors. And this is a larger size. It's not super big, but I think it's a large. Yep, it's a size large, which is the bigger the size, the faster and the more expensive your Hawaiian dress will sell for.
Yes, because we drink a lot of tiki drinks, so we're short and fat.
Why does it make you short?
Same with just that last 12 to 14 inches at the bottom is a little bit of a flounce. It's a straight skirt. The fancier the dress too, if it's bigger, the better. If you find the kind that tie under the bust on the inside so that it gives you a little bit of a waistline, those are super popular because those are harder to find. And the bigger you are, the better it is to tie under the bust to give you a shape so it doesn't look like you're wearing a tent. Muumuus make you look like you're wearing a tent. And if you're a bigger girl, you always want to, accentuate the best aspects of your body. So, it doesn't, whether you're a big girl or a smaller girl. So it's the kind that you're able to tie under the bust to give you a waistline or a shape is very popular too. So This particular one is
An awesome pattern.
this one is a
Mhm.
great pattern. This is also made in Hawaii, but it's a much brighter tag. And this is a size 2X, which is going to sell really well, which means I'm also going to price it much higher. That green dress I'll probably price in the $50 range. This one I'll probably price around $75. This one is a little bit nicer. This was probably part of a wedding set because it has a very
What
masculine
does that mean, wedding
pattern.
set?
A wedding set, it was a popular attire in Hawaii when as someone would go to get married in Hawaii, the woman would wear the dress and the man would wear the matching shirt. So you'd have a Hawaiian shirt with a matching dress, same fabric, same pattern.
And sometimes the shorts.
Sometimes the shorts. And sometimes it was like a honeymoon set for someone that would, they go and they'd wear that after they got married and they go to Hawaii on their honeymoon. But the wedding set was typically because it was a couple would wear it, and usually for a wedding or a honeymoon. Made pretty popular in the 50s, but probably the most popular in the 60s and 70s.
And it still is at Tiki
Conventions
West
and stuff.
Coast Tiki events, I
Yeah.
should say.
So you don't find
They
a
like
lot
to
of it.
matchy.
Yeah, you don't find a lot of it now. So when you do find them, especially if you find them together, they sell well.
Mm.
So this one again being a 2X, this is a really pretty like it's a tapa print. But it has surfboards,
Ukulele.
it has ukuleles, it has leis, it has hibiscus, it has pineapple, it has like the turtles in it. It's really pretty. And so this is burgundy and brown. And it's got a little bit more of a ruffle on the side and it coming up the side. So this is probably a $75 one. And I paid $4 for it. And Julie's not bitter at all.
It's fine. That's the thing, when you go with your friends, you have to just pick your lane.
You have to be
and
ready
you have
for
to be ready
disappointment.
and just make it more fun and fun of the person who did that.
Exactly.
So I'm going to show I've got 4 more things to show, and we're just doing it this way, and then Katy will do all of hers. It actually makes more sense this way. We'll rock through a little bit. So I picked this. This is no more clothing. So I'm going to do a little bit of hard goods type of thing. So I've talked about this several times before. I'm just showing the box. The actual item is downstairs.
We went to an estate sale.
We went to an estate sale. I think I paid about $3 to $4 for this. I paid up for a couple of things, but
You had the right lady ring you out.
yeah, I paid $40 for everything, and I just made a big pile of stuff. So I probably paid like $3 or $4 for this. This is a vintage early 1990s Mr. Christmas holiday thing, and it's just a little. It's like made to look like a phonograph. It has little mice on it. These little plastic mice that are on it, and it's
cute.
it's cute. It's one of the cuter ones. There's not a lot of these around. There are a couple listed pretty low right now, but again, I don't play that game. I'm going to list mine probably higher than anyone else's, and if I have to wait till next Christmas to sell it, I don't care.
Wow.
I will sell it for over $100 anyway.
Cool.
This one I'm going to ask you guys. I'm crowdsourcing right now. I'm going to ask you guys, for any of you that are into anime, I paid like $7 for these sneakers. They're not Converse. They're just made to look. They're made to look like Converse, but they're not Converse. They have little anime guy characters on them. It doesn't look like Dragon Ball Z to me, and that's probably the only one that I have any familiarity at all with.
Listen, that big word.
So if somebody knows who this is or what that is, shoot me a DM or comment on after this, because I would love to know.
Slide in her DMs, guys. Tell her what's up.
I'm gonna freaking punch you. They were probably like a special order, from China, because that's the brand on the bottom. I did a quick Google search. I wasn't able to find them. But again, I paid $7. I'm going to clean them up. Depending on who's on them, they're probably not even licensed. Who the heck knows? So that will affect where I list them and sell them. But I thought they were pretty cool. And for $7, I couldn't pass them up because anime is such a popular thing. Someone will want them. Yep. I like nerds. Nerds have money.
There you go. Rita's going to help you out. She's going to do some research. Ask her son.
All right. Thanks, Rita. You're awesome. Okay. So these I picked up at the estate sale as well. Again, I paid probably $2 for these. I just picked them up because they were vintage cowboy boots. They look nice. They're very, very, very super thick, soft leather. So I think they might be elephant. Elephant is, but there's no markings on there, so I wouldn't say that. I might put it in the listing that I think they might be. But they're handmade, they're hand tooled, they're vintage leather boots, but they're made by a company called Stallion Boot and Belt Company. Now, I just assumed these were going to be like $30, $40 boots, but if you look up the Stallion boot and belt company. They sell custom made, handmade, bench made leather boots and leather items, and they sell for a shit ton. So the retail on these was somewhere around $2,000 to $3,000. I had no idea. I thought they were going to be like $40 boots. Now, I'm not saying I'll get that. Of course not. But even the ones that are reselling are listed at least at $600 and upwards.
That's crazy.
So I'm going to do a little bit of research. I'm going to do a little bit of research. I may actually email the company, which I never do, but I may actually email the company because they still make boots now, and see what I can find out about them. So I'm interested in that.
My Hero Academia is on the shoes. That's the name of the...
Oh, all right. Rita, you're the best. Tell your son thank you very much. I knew one of you guys would know, and you probably saved me 2 hours of research because I swear they all look the same to me when I look at the anime characters. I'm like, they all have the big eyes and the color and the big hair, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to find out a little bit more research on those boots and see what I can get for them. I will clean them up. I'm kind of excited for that. And then the last thing that I picked up, somebody was talking about. I did wash it. It was filthy. I have to admit, I don't always wash everything when I buy it, but if it's dirty, it's dirty. This went in the washing machine before anything else was out of the truck. It was covered in animal fur. I don't know if it was dog or cat, but
or human.
It was not human. It was animal fur. And this is either a San Marcos or a beater lac blanket. There are no tags. It is vintage acrylic, but it has
which way's the top?
I think it's this way. Where is it? I can't see when I'm holding
this
it.
way.
It's a unicorn.
Yay!
So it's a good size. This one might actually be a king size, and if it is, it'll probably sell for about $150.
It's pretty awesome.
Well, tell them about
and I paid.
You were gonna buy.
I paid $8 for it. What was I gonna buy?
Some.
There was a nice homeless man walking through the parking lot and at the Deseret when we left, and he had a San Marcos blanket or a beater lac blanket rolled up into his bag that he was pushing, and she was trying to get me to offer him money to buy it off him and go buy him another one inside. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, I don't think I'll do that, Julie. But
jeez,
all right,
I'm not quite a hustler. I'm not quite as good of a hustler as she would like me to be.
Off the back. Is that everything?
Yeah.
All right. So I got my little stack. Now this shirt on its own, the original design, I wouldn't have bothered showing. But this is the Minnesota Timberwolves, which now I can't remember what Minnesota, are they like somebody look it up for me real quick. Is that minor league hockey or am I completely off? Or
I was just going to say basketball. So
basketball. Maybe it's basketball. I don't know.
Is it basketball?
I think so.
Okay, somebody tell me. Anyway, but what's
all
cool
three
with
of us, we're super sportsing.
Whatever. But
I am sporty.
So this is vintage 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. But it must have had like some staining or discoloration because, and I don't know if it was Jesse that did it or one of his guys, but they tie-dyed it. And I think it's really cool looking. I think they did an awesome job. So,
it didn't come like that? That is a damn good tie-dye job.
No, it's really good. So this is the back.
NBA, everybody says. Look at that.
NBA. Okay,
it's not even minor league. God, we suck.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, if I just sold a wolf, I would.
Well, I haven't, I think I've only ever sold like one Timberwolves thing, so there wasn't much reason for me to know.
Oh my gosh, they did a good job. They need to just.
But yeah, they did a really good job on this. So I picked it up because I thought it looked really fantastic. And it's just a really cool shirt. I think I paid like, I don't know, $25 for it.
And how much do you think you'll sell that for?
I mean, I'll list it for like 100, but try to sell it for like 75.
They did. I mean,
yeah, it's really cool.
Tie-dye.
Yeah, I know. It looks awesome. It's just great colors.
I'm jealous.
So that. And then I picked up this Van Halen t-shirt. Get out your phone and pretend like you like my stuff. Quit.
By the way, we did have to show and tell yesterday when we came home too.
Yes. And I watched everything.
She did.
This is Van Halen for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge on the back. And it's nice and worn
on the back.
Yep. It's got some nice holes in it. It's worn. He actually had this price kind of low. Like he had it priced at like 65 and he gave it to me for I think like 50. I haven't looked it up or anything, so I don't know what it'll go for, but I plan to sell it for at least 150. Cool. But I don't know like how prevalent this particular t-shirt is.
Okay, fair.
This one I love.
I haven't looked that one up, but I like it.
Again, I haven't looked this one up either.
I love this one.
This is a Metallica and Guns N' Roses t-shirt. It's got some nice wear and fading. This is a tour that they did in 1992. But my favorite part of
the
the
tour that I had tickets for that I didn't go to, or they canceled.
My favorite part of this shirt, because I'm not a huge Metallica fan or Guns N' Roses fan. I'm like, whatever. But the reason I love this, and I feel like our friend Leah, Cherry Darling there, will back me up here, is their special guest was Faith No More.
All right.
And to me, that makes this the coolest shirt ever. You got a little Faith No More there.
Personally, I love both Guns N' Roses and Metallica. So
I would say of these three bands, by far, hands down, finger up, prefer Faith No More. Faith No
Sing
More.
one of their songs for us.
No, I will not. I started a joke.
What if I gave you a super chat in cash?
No.
start throwing quarters at her.
Quarters.
Anyway, I kind of feel like, everybody knows Faith No More, or at least knows at least one song of theirs, but I still think they're an underrated band. And
They're a great band.
Fantastic. Michael Patton is the shit. And anyway, cool shirt. And I think I paid like $60 for this, maybe $75. And I haven't looked it up or anything, but I'm gonna put like $200 on this. I don't know. I haven't done any research on it, so
I think more than that.
Who knows? I don't. But we don't know how many there are already out there. So that's the question.
Epic by Faith No More is great. Yeah.
Yes, but seriously, that's the thing. Is Epic was one of their like major hits, but they have
But that's the hit that everybody knows.
They have so much good stuff, and their version of War Pigs is fan-freaking-tastic. Anyway, speaking.
Excuse me. Now Julie's on her phone.
People on the show.
I'm speaking.
Are writing me notes.
Me too.
Speaking. Stop it. No, you does not mean you get to do it. Speaking of San Marcos, bitches. San Marcos, bitches. This right here is a San Marcos t-shirt.
It is?
Yes, this is actually a San Marcos t-shirt. Bet you didn't know they made t-shirts.
I didn't.
Right there, if you look at the
it's too close for my old lady eyes.
Yeah, sorry.
So is that a person?
So this
That's
is
a brand.
Yeah, it won't. Anyway, it's not.
That sounds great.
You shut your mouth. There you go. San Marcos, or just says San Marcos, California. I would say San Marcos, whatever. Anyway, awesome, gigantic lion print shirt. I think I paid like maybe $30 for this. I'm going to put this bad boy up for $100.
So Sandy thinks my boots might be buffalo. They could be. I don't know. I literally looked them up 10 minutes before the show. So I'm actually, because the company is still in business, I'm going to contact them because there's a code inside the boots that I can't decipher.
Oh, code.
Yeah, I did a little Googling, but I didn't delve deep.
Of course, I got another Christian t-shirt. This is just says any road, any cost. It's got the little cross there. So this is a vintage 90s Fruit of the Loom tag right there, made in Mexico.
Fruit of the Loom, or is that not cool anymore? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I haven't watched.
I don't know if
I haven't watched the virtual flea.
The virtual flea is the real life one.
I'm aware what it is.
Well, then you're using the words wrong. All right, this I love. This is not vintage. This is a collaboration, or this is the clothing company, the Hundreds. Sometimes they do like these cool limited drops. This one actually dropped in 2017 on Friday the 13th on their website.
That's a great shirt. Are you sure you want to sell it?
Yes. Friday the 13th. And then if you look at the back,
Sandra, are you watching? Head up.
If you look at the back, you can actually see Jason there with his hockey mask. So this is not, I would say this is not accurate to the first film. So I'm going to say this is a Friday the 13th franchise t-shirt. But you can see it says down one side, it says the Hundreds, down the other side, it does say Friday the 13th. It's got the front hit. It's got the back hit.
It's a pretty cool
2-sleeve hit. But
pretty
I
cool
paid,
shirt. She said hit.
But I paid $60 for this.
Oh,
I paid $60.
It's a size like I would wear this. First of all, I love baseball tees, and I
would wear this
not
too.
that this is a baseball tee. It's a long sleeve t-shirt. I like these.
I would wear this too, but I had it listed for like $200.
the middle picture would be gone though.
It would be stretched out over
Yeah.
my boobies. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
It'd be like this.
Anyway, really cool shirt in fantastic condition. Just a really cool retro
It's cool.
collab. and I believe that they would have them like super limited on the website, and then they would. Jesse said that they would sell them at Universal Studios. So I don't know. It's a really cool shirt. This is kind of an interesting shirt I picked up. ULA. This is Universidad de los Andes. This is the University of the Andes down in Venezuela, I believe. But what's weird about this is it's on an AXO shirt, which AXO is like supercross, motocross type shirt. So it's kind of interesting to have like a university shirt. It's on this really thick, like motocross racing brand shirt. So I'm not really sure like why it was made on an AXO shirt, but
so I think we have a new watcher in the chat. Brian, nice to see you. We are not in California. We are in Henderson, Nevada, right outside of Las Vegas.
Yep. But this is a really cool shirt. It's got the mock. What's happening?
And Julie's with us, but she's from Ohio.
Yeah, it's got the mock neck. I think I paid like $25 for this. I believe I have it listed for $100 right now. It's a super cool vintage shirt, university shirt. So
that is cool.
This next one is very cool.
Yeah, Julie likes this one. This one's interesting because and
it should be Disney, right?
Well, no, because it's Busch Gardens. So I'm not really sure because I don't think Busch Gardens ever had any Disney. No. Like, why would they cross over with another park? So it just says Dalmatians on it. It does not say 101 Dalmatians on it, but those are the Dalmatian puppies, a couple of the puppies from the 101 Dalmatians. But this is a shirt that was sold at Busch Gardens. But it's really cool because it's an Oliver Prince.
Our friend Oliver Prince.
With the Dalmatian spots. It's super adorable. It's on this American Eagle tag. But this is a 90s. Just a really cool shirt. I think I have this listed for, I'm not sure what I have it listed. I might have it up for 150 or 100. I don't remember. But I paid like, I think like $40 for it.
I'd have it for 150
35, 40.
if it were me.
I think I have it at 150.
That's where I'd price it.
I might have it at 200 actually. I'm not sure. Gives me plenty of room for sending offers. That's the thing. Sometimes I'll get messages from people being assholes about my pricing. But the reality is most of other than Etsy, every platform I sell on, I will listen to offers. And even on Etsy, people send me messages with offers. And on eBay, I use offers to buyers all the time. And having those higher prices allows me to aggressively offer. And for me, it's just
same.
It works. Next up, I have this. This is kind of cool because this is from the Warner Brothers Studio Facilities set lighting. You could actually you could rent equipment or they would do repairs. But it's got the Wild E Coyote and Roadrunner on there, and it's just this is like an employee crew T-shirt.
I think that's cool.
And it's just kind of a cool shirt. It's from 2000, so it is just barely vintage on a Hanes BVT tag. But yeah, I already have this listed. I think I have it up for like 70. I don't think I have it quite for 100.
So just quick while you're pulling your next one, Bridget had asked if she could see this one again.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it is.
There you go.
It looks like Converse. It looks like, some Chucks, but they're not Chucks, but they're made the same way. I mean, they're just a canvas sneaker. Yeah, there's no other tags. I'm going to have to try and figure out what the size is and all that crap. So
yeah. Aaron makes a good point saying, not sure why Busch Gardens had that, but you can't copyright you can't copyright Dalmatians. So they were capitalizing on the popularity of the.
Oh yeah. So Brian, we don't buy, Katy does not buy her shirts at a thrift store. That's why she's paying up for them. She buys them from a curated vintage vendor to begin with. Mm-hmm. So that's why she'll pay a little bit more for them.
Well, because I can go there and hang out for an hour and a half and leave with, 60, 70 pieces. And you're just
spend $1,000.
And they're specially curated and they're exactly the pieces that I want. And I can turn around and
our
sell
thrift
them
stores here you could get for $5 as well if you were able to find anything, because it's this is a very, very popular area for resellers. And our thrift stores are pretty well stripped of good vintage. So it would take her a year to find all the pieces that she finds in one day at this one place where she goes.
It's just one of those things. It's a trade-off. So for me, my time is worth that to me. So I'm spending up to save the time. So Tommy says, I'm going to be that asshole. How are you going to get $200 on a 2017 sweatshirt? So first of all, it's a t-shirt, just to clarify. but it's because it's a streetwear
Brand.
limited drop. Now, some people hate the hundreds. Some people like the hundreds. It's it's a step or 2 or 3 down from Supreme. It's not anywhere near as valuable as like a Supreme shirt. But this particular one, because
even Supreme isn't as valuable as a Supreme shirt.
No,
anymore.
but Supreme shirts, like there's ones that they come out and are immediately worth hundreds of dollars. This particular one, I would say the value is in the fact that it is a horror shirt. It's a really cool design. You got people who are into horror stuff, and it's limited. So is it going to fly off the shelf at $200? No. Am I going to maybe sell it a month from now to some guy in France for $200? Yes. So, and for me,
to your store.
Yeah, for me, I do not have to sell it super fast. So I'd rather have it sit in my store, look cool, and eventually somebody's going to come along from Australia and want to lay down some bucks for it. Or you never know, it'll be somebody in California. So
it's like that brand, the flannel company, Dixon, I had talked about a couple of weeks ago. Dixon flannel is nice. It's probably not the best made stuff ever in the world, but it's super popular right now. And they also do limited drops and limited releases. And I have all but sold out of 2. I have 2 shirts left, a limited edition drop that I purchased $30 a shirt. And I've sold every one for $100 to $150 within the last month.
So it's funny, Bridget, because our friend Rita in the chat also asked her son, who also said it was My Hero Academia. So Vikki, we now have 2 sons who have come. 2 sons
confirmed anime fans
have come together to confirm and corroborate what that shoe is from. So I think that now you definitely can feel pretty good.
Confidently use that.
Well, I mean, obviously you're going to want to Google it and see.
Lollipop.
But thank you.
Thanks for those of you that have kids.
All right. So next up, speaking of theme parks and all that stuff in Disney, I've got this Splash Mountain t-shirt. So here's the deal with Splash Mountain. So Splash Mountain was originally in Disneyland. It was originally started in 1989, and then they added it at Disney World. I think it's in Tokyo, Disney Tokyo, and I think there might be one other place. And is it shut down now, or they're turning it into a different theme? I think they're turning it into I can't remember which movie it is. But anyway, it originally was built around the theme of Song of the South, a particular part of that called Song of the South. And they have decided to retire it, and they're turning it into a different theme because of issues over the last year around racial stuff. And so anyway, a lot of the Splash Mountain stuff has been going for high dollar amounts. And I got this particular t-shirt. Now, here's the thing. When I went and looked it up, there was only one other t-shirt that had this particular design on it. There were some other designs that there were tons and tons of them.
Princess and the Frog. Thank you, Sandra. That's what they're turning it into.
Okay. So there were tons, that's the one, like the New Orleans one, right? That's pretty cool. Anyway, so there were tons and tons of examples of other designs. This particular design, there was only one. And that one was a new with tags. And the seller has a bunch of other stuff that looks like it came from like exclusive items that came from the opening of certain rides and different things like that. So I think it might be somebody who worked at Disneyland. And so I did steal their history of this shirt, and I'm hoping that they're right. And sometimes you just got to go with that and hope they're right. And maybe somebody will reach out to me and be like, "You're wrong, you moron." But they've got it listed for like $1,200. And what they say about this shirt is that it is an exclusive shirt that was commemorating the opening of Splash Mountain and was only given to crew cast members, or the Imagineers, as you call it. So this is not a widely available shirt.
The tag.
This is the tag.
The Disney tag.
This is like the late 80s, 90s.
Well, that's when Splash Mountain. Yeah,
Disney.
Splash Mountain
Anyway,
came out.
So I priced this up so that when it's 30% off, it comes out to being about $800. Am I going to get $800? I don't know. I doubt it. But maybe I'll get $500. So I put that in my description.
Does it glow in the dark? It looks like it would.
It doesn't glow. Why is it glow?
Those colors, the pink and the green, look like they glow.
I don't think so. But
I'm going to check this theory out, guys.
All right. Anyway, so I got this in a Splash Mountain sweatshirt, which I'll show you in a little bit. I paid, I believe, $230 combined for the shirt and the sweatshirt. $230. But that's because they are selling for super high prices. And I think that I will be able to sell this for, let's say, minimum $300. That's what I'm going to say to you guys. Minimum $300, but I have it priced right now at like $800. So there you go.
I think you can sell it. Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. I'll skip that one. So here is the Splash Mountain sweatshirt. So this particular design is a lot more prevalent. I don't think there's any other sweatshirts up right now of it. There's one, but it's like a much smaller size.
I like that one.
There are some t-shirts. This one's really cute. It's got Splash Mountain on the front. And then the back says 1, grab bar, 2, close eyes, 3, open mouth, 4, scream, 5, scream louder. So this has the
I've been on Splash Mountain a lot.
Mickey Ink tag. This is a 90s tag, whereas the other one was like a cusper, late 80s, early 90s. But this one I have listed for $250. I'm hoping to get like $175, like minimum, whatever. You shut your mouth. But cool sweatshirt. You shut your mouth.
How many more do you got?
500.
Okay.
No, just a couple. I'm skipping a couple things here.
I see that.
Well, because they're ones that I don't really need to share. I'm just going to show a couple. Just 2. I have this Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers.
Oh,
Sleeves cut off. So we call this like a surfer sweatshirt, but the sleeves are cut off. It's in good condition other than the sleeves being cut off.
did someone cut them off or did they cut?
They are cut
like
off.
that?
They are not short sleeve. It's cut off. When I say cut off, I mean somebody cut them off. Don't you flip me?
Isn't she rude?
I'm being abused here.
You.
I'm being abused.
I
Anyway,
appreciate the support this week. I just want you to know, Julie, she sees the abuse I go through.
she also helps me to tease Vikki mercilessly. So it goes both ways, guys. But I love this shirt, especially because Taz looks like he's wearing a beret, but it's actually Sylvester's arm. Now that I've said it, you can't unsee it. Anyway, just super cute. I think this is from 1993. I think I listed this at like $70. It's just
that one's really cute.
Super cute. This is what I see. I could see some girl with little cut off jeans on the beach in California wearing that. And then another Sylvester. This is a cool, nice,
big, thick, heavyweight. It
really
feels
thick,
like a champion.
Faded.
Like it feels like it's like that kind of quality, like the vintage champion heavy duty sweatshirts.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's got like a really nice even fade to it. And it's just Sylvester's face on it. And it's not dated, but it's got the Acme tag, and it's definitely from the 90s based on well, actually it is 1991.
I was going to say some of those are dated.
Yeah,
Definitely.
1991. But this one I'll price it like $100.
That's really good.
Just a really nice.
I like that
sweatshirt.
one.
Anyway, got some really good stuff. I'm going to be going. I didn't go this last week, but I'm going to be going this week, probably on Tuesday. Because Jesse says he's got like 4 more boxes, and we're talking boxes like probably about as tall as Julie is.
That's a short joke.
Seated.
Short joke.
No, but it really, I don't know what those boxes are.
Say as wide as me too?
No. But what are those boxes? The one like those boxes that are like this big that you could probably get into and go like this and be shipped somewhere.
We'll crouch her down.
Anyway, he's got like
I'll
4 of
poke
those
holes in it.
filled with stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us.
We really didn't go much over.
No, we were
What time
on.
is it?
3:47.
Holy moly.
We snippy snapped right on through it, guys.
Only an hour and 40. That was
Only
that's
that's
like a
real.
short
That's
short
real
show.
good for us. Wait, I've got some more stuff I can show.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I was gonna say that I got text that people are gonna meet us at Frankie's.
All right, guys.
Go figure.
Thank you so much for coming
Adios.
and hanging out with us. And Julie, thanks for coming in and making some snarky comments behind our backs.
It's been really nice to hang out with
Yeah, for
friends.
sure. This one over here has been desperate for any kind
I
of
am
company
anybody
that's not me.
anybody that's not Katy right now.
Yeah.
I love you, but
Mhm.
sometimes, guys, I know you're feeling me.
Mhm.
COVID life,
Mhm.
man, I miss people. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Mhm. Not Katy people, but other people.
She doesn't have time to miss you. You're right here.
That's
Right.
true.
The
It's
dogs
true.
are mad though because we keep leaving and
I know.
they're
They're
not
like,
used to you being gone.
it's true. That's true.
That's true.
And I did get to see the sun. That's why my cheeks are red
Yeah.
because I
Yep.
was outside in the
Mhm.
sun.
All right, guys. We will see you next week. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Oh,
Before you sign off,
every time when I am leading into you need to just stop. No. We're no.
listen,
No.
Linda, listen.
Yeah, Linda.
Listen, No, actually, we asked 2 weeks ago, we asked you guys if you wanted us to bring back the Wednesday Boss Up and List show or the Friday No Pants After Dark or No Pants in General Friday if we happen to do it during the day. So we had a lot of responses. And guess what your responses told us?
Nothing.
Stay home.
Absolutely freaking nothing, because it was split pretty much 50-50. So here's what we're going to do. Starting either this week or next week, we are going to add back one extra show a week. It's either going to be on Wednesday or Friday.
She had talked to me about this, but
No, it's either going to be Wednesday or
She's
Friday.
the boss.
When we do the Friday show, it will be a Friday No Pants After Dark, and it will be an evening show. When we do the Wednesday show, it'll be a Wednesday Boss Up and List show, and
So
it will be
everybody wins.
it will be in the morning. I think we're going to move it up. We used to do it at 11 o'clock. I think we're going to move it up to 9 so that we can start it early in the day here.
We can eat lunch with you in
And you can eat
Ohio.
lunch in Ohio. So here's what we're going to do. We're probably going to do a Wednesday and then a Friday and then a Wednesday and then a Friday. So we'll flip flop back and forth. And that way everybody is happy and we'll have a little bit of variety. But we will be adding back a second show every week. So we'll mix it up that way.
are you done?
Yes. Now I'm
Right.
done.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.